Hi Daniel, I'm just making the second part of your maths video for this week and it's page 152 and it's about simplifying fractions. We've done this kind of thing before where you cross divide to simplify a fraction. So you'll kind of look at the blue part yourself. It's pretty easy and I know you've done it before. So all you have to do is cross divide to simplify these fractions. We'll do an example there, 1a, a1a. So you've got 8 times 9 and 3 times 4 on the bottom. Okay, so to simplify that fraction, so it's cross divide. So 3 into 3 goes once, 3 into 9 goes 3 times, 4 into 4 goes once, and 4 into 8 goes twice. So what you would be left there with is 2 times 3, which is 6, over 1 times 1, which is 1, and your answer would be 6. Okay, we'll do the next one, which is 1b. So you had 10 times 12 over 6 times 5. So again, 5 into 5 goes once and into 10 twice. 6 into 6 goes once and into 12 twice. So you would have 2 times 2, which is 4, over 1 times 1, which is 1. Your answer would be 4. So that fraction simplified would be 4. The others are all the same way. So I'll give you the answers then for the rest of it. So 1D, you should have got 6 as well. 2A is 15, C is 36, D is 48, 3B is 80, and C is 50. So this section here is about finding profit and loss. So in this case, it's how to find the cost price. So Lara bought a painting and sold it some years later for €45. She made a profit of 25%. How much did she pay for the painting? So what was the cost price to her of the painting? So the cost price then is the cost price plus the profit is equal to the selling price. So the cost price, if you always take the cost price as 100%, because that's what she paid for it, 100%, plus she earned 25% on it. So 125% is equals to the selling price. So then you've got to find out what was the cost price. So you're finding what just 100% is. So 125% is €45. So 100% is 100 times 45. So the price she sold it at divided by 125, which was the full amount. So the selling price, so the cost price plus the profit. So 100 times 45 divided by 125. And you can cross divide that to simplify it and you would get 36. So look at the first one there. Find the cost price of these items. You are given the selling price and the percentage profit. So the first one is €35 was the selling price and the profit was 25% on that. So again, you can put it down. CP can stand for cost price. CP plus the profit equals the SP or the selling price. So the cost price then is always 100% plus the profit was 25%. Equals €35. So then you want to find what 100% on its own is. So 100% is equal to 100 times 35, the price they sold it for, divided by 125, which was the amount of the cost price plus the profit they made, and then cross divide it. So you can divide these two by 25, that'll go 4 times. And that will go 5 times, and then you can cross divide these ones. So 5 into 5 goes once, 5 into 35 goes 7 times. So what you're left with there is 4 times 7, which is 28, over 1, which equals €28. So the cost price of that item must have been €28. So if you want to check that you've got the right answer there, what you can do is 28 plus 25%, and you're back to 35, and that was the amount of the selling price. So all the rest of those in B1 and 2 are the same, done the same way. So I'll just give you the answers to those now. So the next answer is €44. The next one is €64. Next one is 45, and the next one is 110. And in number 2, the first one is 77, 120, 350, 276, and 468. So the next one, part C, is looking at when the seller makes a loss on something. So this time you're just, instead of adding on the profit they made, you're taking away the loss, the percentage loss. So a selling price is 280. They've lost 20% on the item. So then the cost price is cost price, take away their loss equals the selling price this time. So again, the cost price is 100%, the full amount. Take away the 20% that they lost equals 80%. So 80% equals 280 in this case, because that's the price they sold it at. So to get 100% then, so 100 times 280, the amount they sold it for, divided by 80. And you would get the price that they bought it at, the cost price originally. So let's do one of those. Say the selling price is 2,712 and they made a loss of 20%. So this time again, you have the cost price, take away the loss equals the selling price. Cost price at 100%, take away the 80% equals 20%. No, sorry, that's the wrong way around. The loss was 20%, not 80. Loss take away, so the cost price 100%, take away 20% is 80%. Okay. So that means that 2,712 was worth 80%. So to find the 100% equals 100 times the selling price, which was 2,712 over 80. So we can divide them by 20. So 100 divided by 20 is 5. 80 divided by 20 is 4. Okay. In this case, you can try cross dividing this one. 2,712 divided by 4. So 2,712 divided by 4. It'll go in exactly 678 times. I'll leave you with a 1. So 678 times 5 equals 3390 over 1, which equals 3390. Okay, so their cost price on that item was €3,390. And the others in Part C are all done the same way. So I'll give you the answers to those now. So the second one there is €6,930, and the last one is €6,956. So the next wee section is earning interest in a bank there. So money in a bank, post office or credit union earns interest. Interest rates are given as percentages. The higher the percentage, the more money you will earn per year. So for example, €125 at 5% is 125 times 0.05, which equals 6.25, which means their interest was 6.25. So calculate the interest after 1 year on each of those amounts. So we'll do one or two of those now. So it's €50, the first one, times, and it was 5%. So 5% equals 5 out of 100 equals 0.05. So 50 times 0.05. If you calculate that, 50 times 0.05, you will get €2.50. So the interest on the €50 is €2.50. Next one is 120. Again, the interest rate is the same, so it's times 0.05. So just calculate it out. 120 times 0.05 equals €6. So the interest rate on €120 is 6. So all of the others there on that section A are done the same way, okay? The interest rate at 4% will be timesing it by 0.04, and the interest rate on 2.5%, I'll just show you that one actually. So 2.5% equals, so this time you would have, so you have 2.5 out of 100, which is 0.0, because there's no tenths, 2, and then the half is worth 5. So you'll be timesing it by 0.025 for the 2.5%, and anything with a half on the end of it, you'll just stick on a 5 at the end. Okay. Okay, so the answers for the rest of A. So I did 1A, so that was €2.50 again, and C was €6. So then you had F was 19.50. G was 37.50, H was 41.60, I was 45.60, and J 55.20. 2A is €1, C €2.40, G €17.76, H 23.32, J 51.40, and number 3 there, 3B is €4.50, C is €6, and D is €6.50. So the next one is calculating interest if it's more than 1 year. So interest is calculated on a yearly basis. If money is in the bank for 2 years, the interest will double. For example, €160 at 2% for 3 years is 160 times 0.02, which is 320. 320 times 3 for it being in 3 years was 960. And then if you're asked how much money is left in the bank, you would add that to the amount that was in the bank at the beginning. So calculate the interest on these ones. So it's 2% for 3 years. So we'll do one of them. So we'll just take the first one there. So €50 at 2%. So it's 50 times 0.02 equals €1. Okay. And that's over 3 years times 3. So it's €3. We'll be on that. So all the rest of them are done the same way. So number 1 is 3 years, and number 2 is 1.5% over 5 years. And remember, 1.5% will be, so 1.5% is equal to 1.5 over 100 equals 0.015. So that's what you'll be calculating at, 0.015. So, okay, I'll give you the answers for B. So 1A again was €3, B is €7.20, D is €10.80, G is €27, H is €39.12, and J €128.94. 2A, well, I didn't give you 2A, that was the one I did. So B was €22.50, C is €30, D is €31.50. And that's that section. So in the top bit, in A and B, you just calculated how much interest would be made. This last wee bit then is calculate the amount. So the amount is the money in your account after the interest is added on. So you calculate the interest rate, so how much interest they made, and then you add it on to what's in the account already. So for example, how much will I have in my account if I invest €420 at 4% for 6 years? So that's 420 times 0.04, which is 1680. That's the interest after 1 year. So it's for 6 years. So times that by 6, which was €100.80. And then, so the interest will be the 420 they had in their bank plus the €100.80 interest. So after 6 years, the account would be worth that much. Okay, so you have to do the interest rate in 4 years' time. So how much is left in the bank accounts? So what's the money in the account? And the interest rate here is 3%. So times it by 0.03 and then times it by 4 years. And the interest rate here is 3.5%. So times it by that. So what's that? 0.035. And it's 2.5 years. So you'll have to find out what is the interest per year, half it to find out the 6 months, and then times it by 2 and add on the half for those ones. I'll do an example of those ones maybe. So we'll just do that first one there, C1A. So the interest is, the amount in the account is €200. So it's €200 times, the interest rate was 0.03 and it was for 4 years. So for 4 years. So 200 times 0.03 is, so that meant they got €6. Now times 4 over 4 years, 6 4s are 24. So the total in their account is a 200 plus the 24, so it would be €224. So I call out the answers to the rest of those for you there. So C1C is €672, E €873.60, G €991.20, I €1,136.80, and J €5,855.36. So looking at number 2 there, which is 3.5% interest rate a year and over 2.5 years. So I'm doing the first one, which is 2A. So 400, so you're going 400 times 0.035. So find out what that's worth a year. So 400 times 0.035 equals, so per year it's €14. So find out the half year is 7. So we have 14 times 2 is 28 plus 7. So it's 35. So the interest rate they will get on that amount of money at 3.5% over 2.5 years is €35. So at the end of that time in their account, they would have €435. So 2B then is €652.50. D is €5,437.50. F is €413.25. H is €891.75, and J is €3,806.25. So the last page then you have to do in this, Daniel, is the checkup page. So part B should be straightforward enough, and we'll have a look at C then. So I'll call out the answers for part B to you. So that's what you did at the start of the chapter. So B1, the selling price is €180, 20% profit. Next one's €132, 10% profit. Next one's €63, 5% profit. €29, 16% profit. €29, 45% profit. €469, 40% profit. And this one looks a little bit complicated, but it's actually not too bad when you go to do it. So during a storm, an aeroplane climbed and dived to avoid lightning. Its heights are shown on the chart. Calculate the percentage change in height between each 2 points. So for example, if the height fell from 6,000 meters to 4,500 meters, that's an adjustment, or a difference if you like, of 1,500 meters. So you would put your 1,500 out of the height that had been at 6,000, and then you're basically making it, simplifying the fraction, and then what percent is that, then change the fraction into a percentage. So if you look at the first one, the height is 8,000 meters, and that's where the plane's at, and then it rose to 9,000. So that's an adjustment of 1,000. So it's 1,000 out of the height that had been at is 8,000. So simplify that, you can cross off those zeros, is 1/8, and then 1/8 is a percentage times 100 over 1 equals, so it's 100 divided by 8, which is 12.5%. So that was the percentage adjustment, and as you can see from the wee chart, it was an increase, so you can put a wee plus in front of that, so it increased plus 12.5%. So then when you're going on to part B, you'll take it from, obviously, from that height, the 9,000 meters. Okay, we'll do that one, and then I'll call out the answers. So the next one, right, it's now at 9,000 meters, but it's fallen 6,000 meters. So that's a difference of 3,000 meters, and the height that had been at was 9,000. So again, you're simplifying that, so you can cross off these zeros. So you have 3/9, which is 1/3, and 1/3 as a percentage, you know, is 33.1/3%, and it decreased because you can see that the plane fell, or decreased I suppose rather than fell, and so you're going to put in a minus in front of that, so minus 33.1/3%. So you continue that way all across to the end of it. I'll just call out the answers for the rest of it now. So the next point, it increased 66.2/3%. The next one is a decrease, minus 10%. The next is plus 33.1/3%, a minus 16.2/3%, plus 20%, and the last one is minus 25%. And look at the statements. Is it an increase or a decrease? Read each statement. So the first one you should have increase, 2 is decrease, 3 is increase, 4 is increase, and 5 is decrease. And Daniel, I'm sure you'll be glad to get to the end of that chapter. It was heavy going. And if you got a chance, you could do the satellite book, some of the work on this as well. I hope this video made sense to you and it was easy enough. And best of luck, and I'll talk to you during the week. See you, bye.